What? Do you belong to any groups, Molly? Astronomy groups on Facebook?
I'm in the East Bay Astronomical Society locally. And then I'm a AAVSO ambassador, and and then the Astro Imaging Channel, the YouTube live show that I'm panelist for, and I run the stream for that show now too, which is fun.
Very cool.
Getting my hands into Streamlabs, which is what I'm using for my webcam feed nowadays. I finally got myself a green screen so I can hide all the stuff in my background.
Oh yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, especially since Zoom's the only platform that does that virtual background very well. So now I can have it all the time.
Yeah.
Any platform.
Right. That's right. I belong to a lot of groups on Facebook.
Oh yeah.
Let's see.
I'm on like a ZWO users group and a site users group as well. But a lot of people kind of ask the same questions over and over again without looking at the rest of the group, and it's like, come on, guys.
No, that's pretty normal.
Search the forum first before you ask your question.
No one does that. That's no fun.
It's like I don't have time to explain to every other person what the amp glow on the 294 is and how to get rid of it.
Just remember, our mics are hot right now, and everybody in the world can hear us.
It's okay. We need them all to know.
Yes, this is a public service announcement. Read the forum before you post the
forum first. That's right. That's right. Okay, so we are shared. Okay. And good. Yeah. In case you're only listening to the show, today's special guest on the OpenGOTO community will be Molly Wakeling. So,
yay. Yay. you need like a audio switchboard and cue like.
Actually, I have something. I have some sound effects here somewhere.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Let's see if I can find them. I don't know.
I thought you had one at one point. You had sound effects.
He did.
Here, let me see if I can find them.
Molly has opened the rabbit hole again.
Oh dear.
Here it is, sound effects. How about this one?
There you go.
Yeah, I need to get more. I had like Spock and a bunch of others.
Oh, excellent.
People are saying greetings already, so we have a lot of our regulars. Stefan Del Pra says hello, everybody. Hope you had a great weekend. Marco Pola says happy Thanksgiving week. Norm Hughes, good afternoon, Scott, Explore Scientific Gang, and Molly. Mike Wiesner, hi everyone from might be clear tonight, Southern Arizona. John Smith, question mark. Okay. Pekka, Pekka's in Stockholm, Sweden, says hello everybody. Bergman Scooter, hello everybody. Norm says hello, Marco. Jim Norwood says he just has like this symbol of a telescope. Aaron B. Thompson, greetings all. And Chuck Lewis, hello gang. So, hey everybody. everybody. This is Scott Roberts with Explore Scientific, and this is the OpenGOTO Community Live. We have a little bit different group here today. Instead of Jerry Hubble, Jerry's not here because his computer took a dive today. So he's frantically trying to get this thing up and running again. So I've gotten several calls from him today of each moment of how well it's doing. So we'll have him back on Wednesday. Joining us today is our special guest, Molly Wakeling, astrophotographer extraordinaire, AstroPix, Pix Insight expert, really. So, yep, that's right. That's right. Tyler Bowman, who will be talking about astrophotography this afternoon, and Kent Marts, of course, who's going to be here to fill us in on his show for tomorrow. Plus, how Explore Scientific's doing today. So let's get started with you, Tyler. I know that you have gotten a lot of new images and stuff submitted for the astrophotography contest.
Yes, we did. And first and foremost, I'd like to thank Miss Molly for participating in today. It'll be great to see or hear what she has to talk about tonight or today.
Yep.
We do have a couple new images. I'm going to share my screen. We actually have some lunar and some wide field, believe it or not, which is amazing. I just got to find the right screen. And can everybody see that?
Yes.
Okay. So the first image is from a Viramus Corcule. It's shot with an iPhone. I'm not sure what telescope it is, but there is a lunar shot right there.
Okay.
And
looks like through the eyepiece.
Yes, it does.
Right.
Do a normal eyepiece. And the other one is from Stefan Del Pra. We saw that one the last.
Wow, that's really nice. Look at that.
And the other one should be of another one for another lunar from Stefan Del Pra.
Mm-hmm.
Good lunar shot here.
Full disc. That's cool.
Oh, wrong. And that one's from Andromeda.
Who is that from?
That one is from Ackers 189.
Ackers 189. Okay.
We're gonna have to find one. The others we have seen before. Where are they? Where are they? Where are they? Here's Jennifer Shelley. She is part of the group.
Oh yeah, Jennifer Bedell Shelley. She watches our program a lot. So
amazing.
Yeah.
These are great shots.
I've been asking, trying to taunt Jennifer to come on to the show, so we'll have to do that sometime.
And here's one from Ackers 189 of the dumbbell.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think his parents actually named him Ackers 189.
Possibility.
There's possibility. Yeah.
It's always a possibility for anything.
Inspired by Elon Musk's XAE 12, whatever.
Baby's born, you look at it and go, 189, Ackers.
Here's one from Mrs. Shelley of Orion Nebula, and she
another nice one, beautiful.
She has a wide field one here, the only wide field so far. She shot it with a 400 millimeter.
God, look at all the nebulosity though. That's cool.
It's a ASCAR camera lens.
ASCAR, huh? Not NASCAR, ASCAR.
ASCAR, not NASCAR, but yeah, with the Pleiades. We've got quite a few other submissions which we have gone over, but these are the most recent ones. So we have so far 90% deep sky objects.
Any terrestrial yet?
No terrestrial. The only thing that's changed, this is considered the wide field since it's a 400 millimeter telephoto lens, and the lunar. That's it. But we have 31 responses so far. So we have 31 contestants in the contest, but I'm expecting at least 100 or 200 more by the 24th of December. So
how many?
200 more. More,
huh? Okay. So let's see. We got a request to post the link for the astrophotography contest. So here it is. Okay. It's explorescientificusa.com pages/Explore Alliance Astrophotography Contest with hyphens in between each word. So Marco Polo and several of you, Michael Whitaker, who asked for that link, there it is. But that's great. That's great.
As far as the group's IO, it's been very quiet, nothing going on there. So
Okay.
hopefully
All
the
right.
next astrophotography, Miss Molly can give us a little bit more in depth on what's going on.
All right. So Molly, we're going to switch to you. And thanks very much, Tyler, for coming on. Great.
I have 2 invoices that I
So
put
Molly,
incorrect
thank you
addresses
for
on.
coming on to our
And I
program.
went to print them out again. They've both been invoiced in full.
We're gonna need to mute Kent here.
Let me mute Kent. There we go. There we are. He's
Yeah,
muted.
happy to be here.
So, well, that's great. So, what's been going on in the astrophotography world, Molly?
Yeah, it's been so I imaged from my backyard here in the Bay Area, just north of Berkeley, California. It's been clear around here lately. So, some nights cloudy, some nights clear. It's been kind of a mix, but we do get a lot of clear nights here, which is really nice. At least in this little microclimate of the Bay, we don't really get the fog that San Francisco gets.
Right.
So I've been doing a lot of imaging. I have 2 telescope rigs set up in the backyard currently. I did have 3, but one of my mounts died. So now I have 2 until I get another mount,
Right.
which I'm working on. So one of my rigs is a Paramount Mighty with a Celestron 8-inch Schmidt Cassegrain on it and a ZWO 1600 mm camera and a full set of LRGB and a hydrogen alpha and oxygen 3 filter wheel as
So,
well.
any special brand of narrowband filters that you use that you like?
So I just got the chroma filters, which
Okay.
I think they're relatively new on the scene, but I've heard that they actually manufacture on the same equipment that Astrodon used to manufacture on, or something along those lines.
Okay.
And that they're pretty up there along with Astrodon in quality without being quite as expensive as the Astrodons. So I mean they're still cost a little bit, but I got the 3 nanometer variety of those 2 filters. They've been doing really well for me so far, and I'll eventually get the sulfur, but there's a lot of stuff for me to do in the meantime with just the 2.
Awesome. So, do you have? Would you like to show some images, or?
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll just share my screen here. Just minimize that.
Maybe tell us the story of how you got really interested in astrophotography. You've told it before you've been on some of our global star parties already, and that's been great. But we didn't have a lot of time to go over your experience in astronomy much.
Yeah. So I originally got into astrophotography back in July of 2015 when I was gifted my first telescope, which is the orange tube here, but it was on a Celestron Nexstar Altaz mount, which is a mount that's much better suited for visual observing than it is for astrophotography. But I managed to take some early, some cool images of Dumbbell Nebula and Lagoon Nebula that I thought were just so cool at that time. And I've since been able to get much better images, but it was kind of a good start. It's just really kind of blossomed from there. I've gotten a lot of support from people in the astronomy clubs I've been in, friends and family. I think about half the gear that I own, or probably even more than that, has either been given to me or sold to me at a steep discount. So
okay, good.
So much support. This picture I have here is actually not the most recent picture. I thought I grabbed that one, but apparently I grabbed the wrong one. I'll have to go find it. But I have here's the Paramount with the 8-inch on it. The rig in the middle here was my science imaging rig. I have a Vixen Newtonian on here that was given to me. I currently have a QSI camera on there now, as opposed to the Orion monochrome deep space imager 2 that I had lying around that I think I got from Robert Reeves, actually, if I recall.
Oh, okay.
And so the QSI was donated to me as well by an AAVSO member, which was really great. And then I had this Celestron CGE Pro. It is no longer functioning, but so I put it on a Celestron AVX, which is also no longer functioning. So I'm working on getting a replacement mount for that. And then the third rig over on the right, I previously had a camera lens on there with my ASI, ZWO ASI 294 color camera.
Yeah.
But I replaced, I was experimenting with the camera lens. I found out I need a better camera lens, and now I have my Takahashi refractor on there that my uncle sold me at a discount.
Awesome. Awesome. It's great. I mean, you've got three nice rigs here. And you know, you've really squeezed out every ounce of performance out of them, as far
Yes.
as I can tell.
Yeah, yeah. I reconfigure stuff all the time and kind of figure out what the best way to do it is, and um, just try and do whatever I can with the gear that I have. And because you'll hear people say all the time, like, "Oh, you got to have this in order to do good astrophotography, or you got to have this or that mount or this procedure or whatever." But
Right.
really, you can just use what you have. And yeah, your images might not be as good as they could be with fancier gear, but you're still going to get some reasonable images from whatever gear you manage to pull together.
You know, back in the 1980s, when I was first getting into this and meeting some high-profile astrophotographers, they had to have like really superior mounts. I mean, and not the. Yeah, I mean, you've got one there with the Bisque Paramount. That's an incredible mount. But you know, I'm talking about people that had like RA drives that had like 12-inch gears and 14-inch gears and 16-inch gears, you know, and lapped worms and all the rest of this when they, you know, and it was all about having, you know, the very, very best mounts that you could possibly lay your hands on. I know now that, you know, because of the exposure times are so much shorter, we were shooting 90 minutes, you know, 180 minutes, okay, for a single exposure back in those days. So,
Yeah, with the shorter exposures, you can use they can use a huge variety of gear, because you can just, if you can only take a 30-second image on your mount because it doesn't track super well, you can just take hundreds of those and make a nice image.
That's right.
There's always a way to do something.
That's right. That's right. All right.
This is a shot of Comet Neowise that I got earlier this year.
Look at that. That's, God, the tail goes all the way up to the top of the frame.
Yeah, this was in mid-July, and I was actually pretty far. I was up near the Canadian border for this one, so it was a little bit higher in the sky, and I was very pleased to be able to capture that much tail. And I was also at a dark site up in along the Columbia River up there.
It's beautiful. Spectacular.
Thank you. And then one more to show. This is from my backyard here in the Bay Area, where I'm at Bortle 7 approximately here.
Mm-hmm.
And this is heavily utilizing those narrowband filters to bring out, especially that dim area around the outer halo of the Dumbbell Nebula.
Right.
And I was super excited to be able to pick that up, especially.
Oh, yeah. What's the combined exposure for this again?
I would have to go look. I think it's something like 17 hours of exposure between
Oh my goodness.
the narrowband and the LRGB. Since I can set up permanently in the backyard, I just run every single night, and I sit on a target for 2-3 months at a time. And I go through about 6 or 7 targets a night as they come across my field of view in my backyard, which has a couple of trees and whatnot blocking the way.
Right, because you just kind of have a narrow part of the sky to image in, I guess.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I have about 120 degree wide swath
okay.
Facing southeast. So it works out pretty well. I can get a lot of targets in that area.
Wonderful.
And if I were to cut down the plum tree, I could get more of the northern sky, but I somehow don't think my landlord would like that very much.
Maybe I'll send you a chainsaw for Christmas or something. Okay?
I'll just tell them that it's knocked it over or something.
No, I'll just send some guys out there to go and chop it down for you, and you can just claim, I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
These guys just showed up at
came home
3
one
o'clock
day,
in the
"Oh, I
morning
don't know."
and sawed down this plum tree.
Maybe it was aliens. I don't know.
Maybe it was. That's right. Yeah, that's right. I'll send you proof positive photos that it was aliens. So that's awesome. So Molly, you also do science imaging, but before we get into talking about that, how early? I mean, were you just like 8, 9, or years old or younger when you first got interested in science?
I've been interested in astronomy for pretty much as long as I can remember. I used to watch a lot of Magic School Bus when I was growing up. We
Okay.
didn't have cable, so watched a lot of PBS.
Sure.
Watched a lot of Nova when I was growing up as well, that PBS show.
Right.
And just kind of read through a lot of science books and stuff like that. But I asked for a telescope for quite a few years when I was growing up, but we didn't really have the means for that when I was younger, and never really happened. Then I eventually quit asking. I did get a little microscope one year though, so that was pretty fun.
It looks like you've cashed in now. Okay.
I have now, yeah.
Right? People remembered that you kept asking for telescopes, so that was cool.
Yeah,
That's
I guess
cool.
so.
Right? No, that's very cool. And I can understand why people support you because you're so talented and so driven, so I think it's fantastic. Tell us a little bit about, I know that you're going to be on the Astronomical League live program.
Yeah.
Your friend Terry Mann had invited you to participate in that. What will you be doing on the program?
So they've got a new, the Astronomical League has a new program, like, how they have the Herschel 400 and the Messier program and the Planetary Nebula or the Moon program. And I can't remember what all programs they have. They're visual. They have a lot of visual observing programs.
Yeah.
But now there's been a lot of talk for a couple of years, I think at least. And now there's finally an imaging program, an astrophotography program, and that they're introducing. And so they've asked me to come on to talk about some very astrophotography basics, astrophotography 101, basically.
Oh, wow.
How to get
Okay.
started.
Very cool. And as far as science imaging, what do you do with your science imaging rig? You like asteroids, supernova? What is it that you go after?
So I'm in the American Association of Variable Star Observers.
Wow.
And I got into that when one of the other astronomy club members that back before I moved out to California, he knew this other female PhD named Stella Kafka, who's she's the director of the AAVSO, and she's like, "Oh, I bet Molly would like to talk to another woman scientist." So
Sure.
she and I talked, and she kind of recruited me to the AAVSO. So right now I primarily do variable star observations and submit those to the AAVSO. I've done some exoplanet observations for NASA JPL's Exoplanet Watch, but haven't had a chance to sit down and run that through their new experimental code and get any light curves out yet, but I will one of these weekends. I did get to images, not a supernova, but a recurring nova, an M31 last year. Not on my own gear, unfortunately, on a guy I was collaborating with in Utah, Brian Sheets, and cued his telescope over to it and made some observations on this recurring nova in M31. So awesome. I almost caught a supernova one time. I was 3 days late after the discovery.
Oh.
It was in my data set. I just didn't look at it. I didn't know it was there.
So you actually collected the data that would have been a discovery.
Yeah, actually, I can show you the picture. Let's see.
It was like somehow count. I mean, can't you kind of slide it in somehow?
I know, right? Right. So this is the shot here. This was back in 2016, so it was still just inside my first year of astrophotography.
Oh,
this
that's
is
cool.
A cropped view of M66, one of the Leo triplet.
Okay.
I was imaging. And after I heard about the discovery and saw that it had been discovered a few days before I took this data set, I went back and looked at my data, and sure enough, there was a little tiny blip. Looked at a chart of where it was at, and I wouldn't have noticed it probably. I would have just chalked this up to conditions. Yeah. Because I didn't have a good enough imaging system to get a nice clear view of this. But yeah, you can kind of see that there's another blip of light there. So
you did it.
That was
you did
so
it.
Close.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Well, you just keep on going. Eventually, you'll nail some. So
I got to start looking back at when I take new galaxy images. I got to go back and compare.
Right. So, what do you suggest to people getting started in astrophotography?
So, well, first, just to work with whatever you have. If you have a Dobsonian and a DSLR, you can connect those two together and hand track on the moon or something like that. If you if you don't have any mounts at all and have a slim budget, get something like one of those little star trackers like the Ioptron or the Skywatcher, Star Adventurer, and put your DSLR with just a regular camera lens on there, do some time lapse, do some star
Sure.
trails, do some tracked images that are super wide field, stuff like that. You can get started for less than $1,000, which I know sounds like a lot of money, but in this hobby,
Yes, but you know,
1,000 is pretty cheap.
it's pretty cheap, you know. So you figure that you could easily spend that on a couple of eyepieces, you know, a couple of
Yep.
nice eyepieces, and no telescope yet, you know. So we certainly have eyepieces that are in the $500 range. So
If you decide to take up bass fishing, you're going to spend $30,000 to $50,000. So
That's true.
well, that's true. Or skiing, or maybe take a vacation somewhere, you know. So
Uh-huh.
it adds up quick, you know. But you know, for $1,000, that's money well spent if you're into this, you know, for sure, you know. And you know, with all the outreach work that you're doing, combined with science, I think that you're opening up the minds of a lot of people, inspiring them, and you know that's really what it's all about. And that's why you're one of the AAVSO ambassadors, and why you're an Explore Alliance ambassador too. So you know we're really happy about that, and we hope to keep promoting what you do. I look forward to seeing you on the Astronomical League live event. I'm co-hosting with them, so I'll be bringing it. So I'm excited about that. That's great.
Yeah, that should be a lot of fun.
Yeah, Molly, is there anything else you want to add before we wrap up here?
You know, I try to share astrophotography as much as I can, because this is the kind of stuff that inspired me growing up to now become I'm working on my PhD in physics, and I like to share it as much as possible to maybe inspire other people to at least be aware that science is a cool thing, even if they don't want to do it for their job.
Right,
So
right,
yeah, just keep looking up and keep sharing your hobby in whatever way you can.
right. That's awesome. Molly, thanks very much.
Yeah, thank you.
And where can they find you?
Yeah,
What website can they find you at?
I'm at www.astronomally.com. I finally got myself a
Mono.
name, so
Oh, you got it. Okay.
just recently. I'm very excited.
Monomolly.com. There you go. I put the link in onto the chat so people could check it out.
Cool.
Yeah, keep following Molly, because she's doing incredible work, and she's only going to get better, although inconceivably better. You know, she's doing such excellent work now. Molly, thank you very much for being on the program. Take care.
Thank you.
Thanks. All right. So we'll go to Kent Marts here. Kent, normally you're on Tuesdays and Thursdays these days, but you're taking Jerry Hubble's spot because he's got a computer that's more than limping right now. But from what I hear, it should be working very soon. So I'm excited about that. But what's going to your show, the FirstLight Chronicles? Are you enjoying the program? I mean, are you like?
the easy has, I love doing this stuff. The easy is worn off because it's easy to go through the challenges. But, you know, it's like anything that you're going to continue to do, you know, it becomes it challenges your creativity, come up with something to talk about that is engaging. And so, you know, tomorrow we're going to be talking about accessories just in general, and, you know, things, you know, the things people need to know to get started.
Right.
Because it's not just buy a telescope and go look at the sky, although that's how you can start. But like any other hobby, it's a lot easier if you have somebody or some background knowledge about what you're trying to do. So
Right.
that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow.
Well, you know, as far as beginning astronomy, there's so many ways and so many areas where you would start getting involved. And even if a lot of people might go for years as a visual astronomer, and then they're going to start looking at astrophotography. And how do they get started? How do they begin making their first fine astrophotographs? You know, something more than just maybe photographing the moon, for example, you know. So, you know, those are other areas to get started in. And then, you know, there's areas such as, you know, how to get started really doing image processing, you know. And so at some point, I know I'm going to touch on some areas where even the both of us are like going, Gosh, I don't know. Let's pull in another expert to talk about it. We might be doing that, but that's what we do in customer service. We get all kinds of questions, and I've been into this since I've been answering questions for customers since about 1980, and I am the people I'm stumped by are not the really advanced people; it's the beginners, because they'll ask a question in a way that often surprises me, and I'll go, "Wow, that's a great question." And I'm going to have to go do some research. I'll find out more information about it. Often I'll pull in an expert to counsel us about it, and that's the reason why we have all of our Explorer Alliance ambassadors. We have Alliance Astrophotography ambassadors as well, of which Molly is one of. And if there's like some little question that we need to get answered, we can get it. So that's the deal. But well, that's fine. Now, also too, we're getting closer to the holiday season. If you've been thinking about gifting a telescope or gifting yourself a telescope or some gear that we might have, it does help to kind of know what's in stock. So, what does Explore Scientific still have available in good numbers?
Okay, things we've still got available in good numbers, and we're talking about higher end telescopes. Okay.
Yeah.
We have DAR 127s, doublet 127 millimeter.
So the AR 127s,
Yeah.
5-inch, right?
They are 5-inch f6.5. We've got a good stock of those. The 152 AR, the doublet again, it's still f6.5. Good numbers of those. The ED Essential Series, ED 127. So this is a triplet, 3 pieces of glass. 127 millimeter f7.5. Good stock of those. We still got good numbers of all of our FCD 100 glass telescopes. So the Essential Series are effectively FCD 1 glass, and the FCD 100 glass is better glass, better coatings. Side by side, you can see a difference. Pretty well anybody can. If they weren't side by side and you weren't a sophisticated observer and didn't have a really good memory of what you saw, of knowledge of what you're looking, you might not be able to see the difference. But if you're going to be doing astrophotography, starting with an FCD 100 telescope might be the route to go. Although I generally advocate starting small and inexpensive and working your way up. You may spend more money, but I've had a number of customers who thought, okay, I'm going to future proof and I'm going to buy something really big and a long focal length, and they struggle and they end up going back to either a 102 millimeter telescope or an 80 millimeter telescope. So anyway, the FCD 100 102s, 127s, the FCD 100 102 in carbon fiber, the 127 millimeter in carbon fiber, which is the one I use as well. And so all of those telescopes have good stock levels, not great stock levels. And, Scott, this might be a point of time. We're going to talk about things we have on sale as a company here in a little while, I think. But we've had a couple of people ask what's going to be on sale in the high end stuff for Christmas. And why don't you tackle that answer at this point?
The deal with that is that, we're running out of inventory because the pandemic caused such a rush on product that if I threw gasoline on the already burning bonfire of products selling through, it would just it really would not help at this time. So it's always fun to get something on sale, and if you are an Explorer Alliance paid member, we do have special sales coming up. Okay, just for them. Okay. Which you can buy through your dealer or you can buy through us. But as far as a general sale, we will not have one for the rest of the year. So tomorrow when Kent comes on, he'll announce the next Explorer Alliance members sale that will come up, and those are very limited sales. They last about 2 weeks, and then we close them. So, but that's a member benefit.
Right. Right now we've got a couple of the power bank, the lithium ion power bank, and the red light. They're both on tremendously good deals. All the Explorer Alliance members were notified by email on Friday. Had a couple of orders this morning. It's real simple. When you join the Explorer Alliance at a paid level, it's either $30, $29.99 or $99.99. You get that money back in the form of a gift card. So it's really free if you're going to be buying stuff anyway. And so if you bought, say, a platinum membership right now, you could turn around and spend that $100 gift card that we get back on the power bank, which is a lithium ion power bank designed for our one of our go-to systems.
Yep.
But it's really good for charging your phones or running any USB device. And a red light for under $100. So basically, you're going to get $150 items for $100. So you're getting a 50% discount on them. So or a 1/3 discount on them, but you're getting them for that $100. So in addition, you get extended care on all your products. You get some other benefits as well, and you get the inside skinny on all the sales that are coming on.
That's right. That's right. There was a question. I don't know if you already ran through this, but somebody wanted to know if there was an ED102 FCD100 in carbon fiber available.
Yes. All the FCD100s, carbon fiber, all the FCD100s are available. The 102 in carbon fiber is available.
There you go. There you go.
Now, is it possible we're going to run out by Christmas? Probably not, but it's possible.
It's possible.
And I'm going to tell you, if you want one, don't delay, because it's possible we'll run out of all of these telescopes by Christmas. The numbers are low enough that I'm not going to say we're going to have them past Christmas.
Well, the thing is our products are made in China, okay? And what happens is what will happen this February is that they will go on vacation for Chinese New Year, and they shut down, okay? So during this period, we get no more shipments, and so that's the deal. So we have to try to have products still available through that period, but that's no guarantee. We have seen unprecedented demand on high-end refractors, eyepieces, mounts. We're sold out of mounts, for example. So it's I really have not seen anything like it. No comet, no Mars opposition, nothing has been as explosive for our industry, and this is true of all the manufacturers out there, all the dealers. No one's holding on to a lot of inventory at this time because it's just it's already in the hands of customers.
It's almost like a great astronomical reawakening, almost.
Right. Which is great because we have a lot of new people now in the hobby and in our lifestyle. And so, those of you that might be astronomy club presidents or whatever, if you're not actively trying to get new members at this time, you're missing out. One way to get some awareness is to contact me and to co-host a global star party. We'll talk all about your club. We'll talk about everything that it has to offer. We just did that with the Von Braun Astronomical Society, and I'm sure that they are getting a lot of attention right now.
As astronomy clubs, we should be doing everything we can to recruit new members, because there's people who are in the hobby who are looking for something, and one of two things is going to happen. They're going to find it or they're going to drop out, and there's going to be a huge availability of stuff at garage sales and on cloudy nights and other platforms, and we don't want that. We want those. I mean, I personally, from my amateur astronomy love, want those people to stay in the hobby.
Oh yeah,
and we've got to do it.
Molly, yeah, you're still on with us. Did you have any mentors or anything like that that helped you out?
Oh yes, yeah. A few members of my I found a lot of those mentors in my astronomy club. The first one I joined, some gave me actual like advice and kind of walked me through how to do things. Others just encouraged me and told me my images were cool, you know. So that's astronomy clubs are an excellent place to get into the hobby and to stay engaged in the hobby.
Yeah.
What would
Yeah.
have happened to you if you hadn't had that support network under you?
Probably wouldn't have gotten very far in it, or as far as I am now, at least, or as quickly, um, and wouldn't have made as many friends.
Okay. All right. So scrolling on down my list of now, here's something. We have some Dob 1045s. These are going to be the truss tube 10-inch Dobsonian telescopes. Wonderful little telescope.
Hmm.
Uh, we're going to run out by Christmas. So if you're thinking about getting a truss tube Dobsonian telescope, it's f4.5. It's a fast telescope. It packs up into a nice small package. If that's on your Christmas wish list, I'm going to tell you, we're going to run out of them by December 15th. Guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
You need to be, if you've got one eye on one, go get it.
Right.
Through a dealer, call us, buy it on their website, our website, but get it because those are going to disappear before Christmas. Guaranteed. Um, the 12-inch truss tube and the 16-inch truss tube Dobsonians still have good stock of those, but wonderful telescopes. But don't think we'll run out. We should have enough. But if there's a big rush, and there's been big rushes today, just while we've been on this broadcast, Scott, I've placed 9 orders for one dealer, well, for 2 dealers. And they're FirstLight 114s and 130s.
130.
Those telescopes are sailing out the door, which is a nice segue into the FirstLight series. The FirstLight 114 EQ3, it's a 114 millimeter
Hmm.
500 millimeter focal length telescope on a German equatorial mount. Great little starter telescope. We talked about it in one of the FirstLight Chronicles. The N130 600, bigger around, a little bit longer focal length, also on an equatorial mount is available. The same telescope on an alt-az mount, the MAZ-01, left, right, up, down, has slow motion controls, which makes it really easy to use, and you can move it really precisely. The AR-7700 is a small, little 70 millimeter long focal length telescope on a azimuth alt-az mount. Solid little telescope, wonderful, small, portable, easy to use. Then we get into the bigger telescopes. All that stock from there on through the FirstLight series, the MacCas 127s. If you want to do planets and the moon, those that telescope is in stock.
Yep.
The Macs are great telescopes. They have long focal length. The 127 has a big aperture, so it gathers up more light. So what you're looking at is going to be brighter.
A lot more resolution too.
Yep, more resolution. The MacCas 100, Maxitov Cassegrain. We're sitting here speaking in code. We shouldn't, or in our lingo.
Yeah. That's right. No code.
Yeah, no code. No, it's easy for us to start chattering off our numbers and the things we refer to that we know, but the public
Talking
doesn't.
about OTAs and
Yeah,
Mac,
you name it. Yeah.
Yeah, we have to describe it a little bit more. There's some chatter here now. There's some comments on the chat right now about inexpensive, cheap telescopes. Okay, this is a 40 millimeter Kmart refractor. Now, Kmart, I don't think exists anymore. They shut down many stores. Maybe they're still online. This is a 40 millimeter from 1970. Okay, this is the model of telescope, exactly the model I got when I was 10 years old. And, this has a non-adjustable tube for a finder. Okay, it has a push-pull eyepiece that goes to different magnifications. Okay, no diagonal. A very sloppy mount, very wobbly, only on a tabletop. Okay, this is what got me started in astronomy. And this was the beginning of an inspiration that has led to this very day, you know. So just because a telescope is inexpensive, okay, doesn't mean that you can't go far with it. Almost all my astronaut friends, all of my friends that got really interested in science, surgeons, people like that, they started off with something that was very, very inexpensive. They got a gift telescope. I'm grateful to it for that telescope. It cost my parents $17.50 in 1970. That was not an expensive purchase at the time, but actually was kind of a heavy investment for my parents for a Christmas gift for their 10-year-old son. So, you know, I would say that any inexpensive telescope, including plastic lensed, poorly built telescopes, they're better than what Galileo had, okay? And Galileo changed the world with what he had. So, you know, it really is the person behind the eyepiece that is going to make the difference. But what makes a huge difference, giant difference, is what kind of support you can get. And there was a comment here that there's not much support out there. Actually, there's tons of support through the astronomy clubs, through the organization like the Astronomical League. They are a huge force in outreach and support with 80, I think they have 80 observing programs. You don't need the top end equipment to do this stuff with. And to Molly's point, if you want to get into astrophotography and do some stuff that's really cool, maybe even some science, you don't need to spend a ton of money to get there, you know. But you do need someone, you need to find the resources so you can get under someone's wing and get some mentorship. And that's one of the reasons why we do these live shows every day. It's also the reason that we do the global star parties, and it's the reason why all of these organizations are now getting involved virtually. So if you can't find a club that's going to help you, get in touch with us. We'll turn you over to people that do, and that can help you out. And so it's out there if you want it. I'm reading some of the chats here. Andrew Corkill says, the Astronomical League is great. The observing programs are really fun, and the backyard works just fine. Ken Noble says, I was clueless regarding an OTA, optical tube assembly. Me reasoning with myself, does this mean I have to assemble the optics within the tube? Yep, this was me 2 years ago. Clearlight 58, Molecule 509. Thank you for being. Oh, that must be you, Molly, right? Thank you for being a viewer. I have
my
also
Twitch
been.
handle, I was responding to them on Twitch.
Thank you for being a viewer. I've also been a member of the Variable Star organization. Great work. How are binoculars in stock? This is Ron Delvo. Absolutely, we've got tons of binoculars in stock. So, pretty much anything that you want, from, inexpensive 10 by 50s to, high-end ED binoculars, we've got them. Richard Lighthill says he got started with a 3-inch reflector and astronomy magazines himself. The Aaron B. Thompson says the National Geographic 114 EQ is what got him started. That's awesome.
That telescope, I'll see people, say never buy one of those, 114 millimeter, but they all forget, they're comparing that to their Paramount or to their Exos 2 with PMC8 or something. You all don't, you don't start out driving an Indy 500. You've got to start with a little go-kart and work your way up, and it's the same thing. They discount the and I personally did this. And there's a difference between a toy telescope and an inexpensive real telescope. And a toy telescope is exactly what it sounds like. It's a toy.
Yeah.
Can you see things with a toy telescope? Yes. And with the right encouragement and the right training, kids who start out with toy baseballs become potentially sometimes very good baseball players. And kids who start out with toy telescopes,
Right.
they become very good astronomers. And it's the same thing. You don't start out, most 18-month-old kids, throwing a full-sized real baseball and going out there with a 31-inch wooden bat and trying to hit a ball. You start out with a little, and you teach them, they learn the process. Same thing.
Right. One of the comments is I predict that after this pandemic, there's going to be, sadly, a lot of astronomy equipment on eBay. The learning curve for some of the stuff is very high, and there really isn't a lot of support. Again, turn to your astronomy club, turn to the Explore Alliance, turn to the Astronomical League. There are resources, but it's true. We all need to do more marketing and more awareness to show this audience that there is support for them out there.
Sadly, learning astronomy over the internet is
It's
a
tougher.
challenge.
It's tougher than
It's harder.
certainly having somebody beside you saying, you see those 3 stars and that star up there, point in between them and there's that galaxy. Okay.
Yeah, Skype. Yes.
That's huge. Okay. To get that kind of mentorship. But there are ways, just to have the dialogue and to be able to ask the questions, especially being able to ask them live like they can here on this show. Let's see. Stefan says, I love my ED102. It's a sweet spot for my mountain accessories. I just need a camera and bigger sensor to get some wider stuff. Yeah. Any comment on what kind of camera would be good for them, Molly?
I always do recommend people start with a DSLR. Partly because they're dual use. You can use it for astrophotography and for daytime, nature, kids, family, whatever. And you don't need a computer to control it, because I know a lot of people doing the computer control is a big learning curve for them. So you can run a fully computerless system as you're learning how to do each and every part of it. And DSLRs are also, in general, cheaper than the astrophotography cameras, at least, if you get like a entry-level or mid-level DSLR. So I always recommend that as a place to start and kind of get your feet wet, and then you can move up to the astrophotography cameras.
Sure. Another comment, your customer support is one, if not the most important thing that you can do after the sale of the gear. I am having trouble with another telescope company's tech support, and it really is making me think that I need to change gear in the future. You'll notice on this show that this is not, you got to have Explore Scientific gear show, okay? Molly, for example, has no Explore Scientific equipment, okay? She does a great job with the gear that she has. Doesn't mean she hasn't run into problems, but she's been able to work through them. And we as a company pretty much support everybody, and we have actually done repairs on other companies' products. So,
Yep. And we're happy to.
If you need help, we're here for you. We can answer some of these questions. We're not, we do the best job we can, as far as warranties and, things like the Explore Alliance, extended care programs that we have and those kinds of things. Those are things that we're always trying to dream up what we can do to be better for the community and the industry, and so that's kind of our mantra. If we do a great job with the community and the industry, we're automatically going to do better for the customers who buy our gear too. So that just kind of goes along with it. But that's our philosophy. And what else?
Hey, Scott,
what's that?
our our Black Friday set flyer has come out via email. You
Oh, okay.
want to deal with that? Let me share my screen
what's
here.
on what's available for Black Friday?
Well, here we go. We're going to share my screen here, and here's what's available for Black Friday.
Okay.
Can you see me?
Yep.
Do you see my screen?
We see.
Okay, because I can only see myself. Okay, so National Geographic Deluxe Adventure Set. It doesn't have a price on it, but it's on sale.
Okay.
Don't know what it's going to be. The National Geographic 114 reflector, $129.95, regularly $150. The Galileo scope, $69, $49.95.
That's a great deal.
That's a good deal. This is a wonderful telescope for people who want to understand how a telescope's put together, because it's a good telescope. It's a 50 millimeter telescope, and it's because it doesn't have a tripod, although it does come with a 1/4 to 20 standard camera tripod foot on it, so you can mount it on a tripod.
That's true.
It's as long as the Galilean eyepieces like Galileo had have a field of view of about
it's tiny.
Yeah, it's tiny, but boy, it's highly magnified. I'll tell you what, but it is tiny.
That was my first telescope. I got one at a conference I went to. And when I was in college, I put it on a tripod, and you could see the moons of Jupiter with it.
Yep.
That's awesome. So you had a Galileo scope. The Galileo scope also was a cornerstone project for the International Year of Astronomy. So
that's the version that I had was that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool. Well, that's the original one right there. So we have not changed it whatsoever. Although the guys that Rick Feinberg and Doug Arion, who were some of the original people on the project, they're still with us. Still connecting the educational market to this particular telescope. They've kind of been after us to think about maybe some enhancements to the Galileo scope. So we're thinking about that.
Hey, Molly, what did you learn from that telescope? You were in college when you got it. What did you learn from it?
Well, it was you assembled it yourself, so you got to see where the lenses went in, like the objective and the second lens that's in there. And if I had spent more time with it, I might have learned to move around in the sky a little bit. As it was, I sat out with my sister on the commons and looked at the. I think it was just Jupiter. Actually, I don't think the moon was up that night, but it was fun, and it was cool to see how it's put together.
I've taken one and turned elements backwards to learn the effect of what getting an image flipped and what does it do. That you learn from making mistakes and from turning things around, and it's interesting to see how you take one thing and turn it over. What does it do to the field of view or the image, and it messes it up. So anyway, our weather station is going to be on sale. Doesn't have a price here, but it's going to be now. This is cool. This land and water habitat has a little magnifier, comes with a couple of tweezers and a catch net. This is something where you can, capture one of our not fin, but you can put water in it, put a fish in it, and catch some minnows at crawdad, and study them a little bit, and let them go safely back out in their habitat. So we're not killing them. This 6x21 binoculars, these are real binoculars. You pick these up, they're made out of, they're heavy. They're not just really thin plastic. They're 6x21s. I have people that come into the store that buy these for like taking to football games and camping, because the price at $19.99 is a great price. But then you drop it. They're great binoculars. They have a diopter, just like regular binoculars, so you can focus your left eye and turn the diopter on your right eye and get them in focus. Spectacular.
Those 6x21 binoculars won a design award about 3 years ago, especially for binoculars for kids. These are real, honest to God binoculars.
We have some toy binoculars that retail for like $14 in the store, and grandparents generally, your parents will go to those. I said, no. Buy these, the toys are toys. These are real, and they're the same price. I can't say enough about this pair of binoculars.
Yeah.
If you're interested in a inexpensive pair of binoculars, this is a steal from Black Friday through Cyber Monday. I sound like I'm on one of those shopping channels.
Yeah, you do.
I'm telling you, this price is a steal for a tremendous pair of binoculars. I'm buying some for
deal
gifts.
is it, Kent?
Look, at the regular price, Scott and Molly, at the regular price, it's a great deal.
Oh yeah.
At $12.95, we're crazy for selling those.
It's crazy. You're crazy.
We're
Ken.
crazy for letting go that
black
small.
and white video of somebody being frustrated with toy binoculars, and then go like, "Oh, well, what about these?"
That's what it is. And so then,
Hey, but wait a minute. We got these 10 by 42 ED binoculars.
EDs.
Now that is something really that would pique my interest in particular.
These are going to be on sale for a really good price that we're not going to say here. But come to our website.
Smoking deal, right?
It's going to be a hot deal.
All
for
right.
sure.
Yeah.
I love this binocular microscope. I would have loved to have had one of these as a kid.
Sure.
It's 25 power. You can put a specimen here. It's top lit, so it's not like a microscope where you look through a prepared slide. This shines light down on something. So we have collected up animals that have died out, insects that have died out in the parking lot. Bumblebees, wasps, caterpillars, butterfly wings.
How about meteorites? I've looked at meteorites.
We've looked at meteorites before as well. So, for $39.95, regular $60, $20 off.
That's a smoking deal.
That's a great deal. If you've got an 8 or a 10-year-old, a 7 or 8-year-old teenager who loves,
30-year-old, 40-year-old.
I would have liked to have taken this out with me backpacking and, out on natural science field trips. That's a great little device. Okay. So this bad boy right here, this V8 model engine.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Libby came into the office today. She wanted to hang out with us. So Libby and the Stars, she was here most of the day today. So we have her giving us kind of a review on the 114 National Geographic telescope build. She built one out, took notes and all the rest of it. So I think we'll be doing a little video with her. But she wanted that engine, that V8 model engine. Her parents got it over the weekend. She spent 2 nights until midnight because she couldn't stop building it, getting this thing all built and put together. So
right. It's got literally hundreds of pieces. It literally has the same exact number of parts as a real
engine,
as a real V8 engine. This is exactly the same thing. It's got clear housing on, so you can see the valves and the lifters and the pistons moving. Mm-hmm. And it's just a fantastic thing. If you've got somebody that's mechanically in your family, I know some gearhead adults that would just eat this thing up, and
Libby's mom told me that I guess they had accidentally stuck 2 springs in one piston or something like that, and spent a couple of hours frantically searching for this last spring, to make it all work. But they got it all working, and so that's very cool.
When I was probably 14 or 15 years old, my guy lives next door to me, took a car engine apart, and we were over messing around with it, helped him a little bit.
Yeah. And
he got done, and he had 2 bolts and a washer that were left over.
Uh-oh.
And he was like, let's start it. And so as that engine ran for years, I don't know what happened.
With a missing washer and bolt.
I don't know if they were really missing some bolts or whether they were just us kids messing around and moved them from one spot to another.
Or somebody just had a bolt and a washer in their pocket and they just stuck it over there.
Yeah,
right?
That'd be a mean trick. That would be a mean trick to play on somebody. I wish I could have claimed that. But
I think Shelby did something like that during a Le Mans race.
Yeah. In the Ford versus Ferrari, I think that they showed him doing something like that. So I don't know if that's,
He
you know,
put some bolts. He threw some bolts on the down, and somebody noticed these bolts down there and just like
yeah, right
freaked
after
out.
they were
Yeah,
doing a tire swap or something, and they chucked a couple bolts on the ground. I don't
right.
know. It makes a good story. I don't know if he did it or not, but
Yeah, who knows?
yeah, who knows?
Shelby was a character, that's for sure.
Okay, so these HS Primal Series binoculars, 10 by 40, $69. Scott, look at this price. No,
What?
don't, Scott. Don't look at this price. Ignore this price.
All right, I'll ignore it.
Two
Holy
forty nine
smokes.
retail. We've been selling those at $249 for Black Friday. This
Those are nice binoculars.
is the deal right here.
Yeah, that's a killer deal.
I mean, these are, those other ones are great for carrying around and losing and have them in your glove box. And, if you lose them or something happens, but for $70, this is the deal right here. Now, this is going to be a pretty good deal too, but of these prices, right here's it. That's it right there. HD action cameras. These are great little cameras. Underwater, put them in the housing and think down to 30 feet. They're pretty rugged little cameras. I've used them hunting a little bit. So bird feeder cameras. These are fun little cameras. They only take pictures about that far away in focus, but they take some tremendous shots. And if you go to this page, there's some videos that Paul Newton, our videographer, did with a bird feeder here set up at his mother's house, and got some really nice pictures with it.
Nice.
$20, regular 40, half off.
Super deal.
Super deal. Trail camera bundles. Save $142. Now, these 4 cameras are under $100, not each.
For all 4.
For all 4, yes, sir.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're you can use them as nature cameras, security cameras.
Right.
They have infrared sensors on them, so you could capture things at night. So those are.
Growing up, I always wondered what was going on in the backyard, at night. And I loved it when it snowed because then you could see what walked through, right? And see where the birds were and where the cats were and stuff. Well,
where Bigfoot was.
Or Littlefoot, if it's a baby Bigfoot, who knows? But
who knows?
You want to see what's going on in your backyard, what's getting into your trash can or who's getting into your trash can. This is it. And we do sell a lot of these for security cameras. People put them up around their property or because
a lot of people around here own small farms and mini ranches and stuff like that. And unfortunately, a lot of people like to trespass, and how do you catch them? Well, this is one way, so.
So, and as always, free U.S. continental shipping on orders over $50.
Mike Overacker says, I use trail cams to see if I sleepwalk.
Do you, Mike? I mean, do you sleepwalk or do you just wonder if you sleepwalk?
Who knows? I mean, maybe we all do, so. You can find out.
That's what I'm asking. Does he sleepwalk or what's he found out? So anyway, that's what we have on sale.
Anyways, God, that did sound like QVC or something. So,
yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun to see all that stuff.
So, okay, how do you get this flyer? This flyer.
How do you get the flyer?
How do you get the flyer? You go to www.explorescientific.com. Explorescientific.com and sign up for the newsletter. You'll get on the email list. Bam. Things like this, announcing good deals and stuff like that.
That's right.
Straight to your email. While you're at it, join the Explore Alliance. I'm pretty sure those people get it too. If not, the Explore Alliance people need to be getting this email. I'll make that happen. So.
Yep. So someone just asked, maybe we can all be affiliates for Explore Scientific and get commission on referrals. Actually, you can really do that. And if you're interested, you have websites, you want to earn some money on the side, absolutely. You can pick the products you want to offer, and you can make a nice commission on it. So that's something that we do. So if you're interested in that, send an email to Kent
No.
Where do you want it?
Send it to the Explorer Alliance email.
Explorer. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Send it to the Explorer Alliance email.
Here we go. Ask for referrals.
But those ones I talked about in that sale, those are my recommendations. Those are tremendous products.
Sure.
Great gifts, plenty in stock. That's why they're on sale, because we have stock on them. And so, we don't want to put something on sale for a smoking deal we have 3 of, because then we'd have people really mad at us. So we don't.
Oh yeah, that's right. Molly, is that a Recaro racing car seat that you have there?
No, I think it's actually a knockoff of the fancier DK Racing
okay.
gaming chairs.
Looks very cool.
Called AK Racing, but it's a super comfortable chair. So
Nice. Well, that's cool. Well, I think that's our show for the day. It was great to have Molly be with us all afternoon, which was really cool. And we learned about good sales. We learned about some beginning astronomy, the way to get started in beginning astronomy and astrophotography. Great comments from the chat today. And we'll be back with you tomorrow. Maybe I'll have Jerry switch places with you, Kent. But you got a great program already lined up, so I really can't do that. I can't do that. So anyhow, guys, thank you very much for watching. Molly, thank you for participating today. It was awesome.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Kent, thank you for taking Jerry's place today. And
not a problem.
All of you keep looking up, and we will see you tomorrow.
Hi guys, this is Tyler, customer service rep with Explorer Scientific. And today I'm here to announce that the Explorer Alliance is excited to be hosting the first astrophotography contest to recognize the excellent work of the images of our members' ranks. For this initial contest, we are looking for the best of the best in 7 imaging categories, from deep space objects to planetary, lunar, solar, wide field, time-lapse, and terrestrial. Prizes will be awarded in each category. First place winner will receive a $200 Explorer Scientific gift card, an upgrade in their Explorer Alliance membership, and a 24 by 36 mounted print for their winning image. Second place winners will receive a $150 Explorer Scientific gift card, an upgrade to their Explorer Alliance membership, and an 18 by 24 mounted print for their winning image. And third place will receive a $100 Explorer Scientific gift card, an upgrade to their Explorer Alliance membership, and 11 by 17 print of their winning image. Best in Show will be selected from the first place winners in each of the 7 categories. The Best of Show will receive a 24 by 44 mountain print of their winning image in place of the 36 by 24 first place prize. Entries are being accepted through 6 a.m. Central Standard Time to December 24th of 2020. Now, before each entry, please be aware of the following rules and requirements. Each entrant must be an Explorer Alliance member. If you are not an Explorer Alliance member, it is a free program, and we will provide you a link in the below in the description so you can sign up. At least one piece of Explorer Scientific equipment, telescope or mount, must be used in the capture of the submitted image. Entrants must identify equipment and imaging data in the appropriate sections on the form below. Each entry must be the original work of the entrant. By entering, you are stating that the image is your property and the work that you originally have. Although the contestant entry period is through December 24th, 2020, Images outside the taken contestant time periods are eligible for entry. Entrants must read and agree to abide by the rules and photo release at the time of submission. These are included on the form below. Entrants may enter more than one photo into the contest. Again, this is Tyler, our customer service rep, along with Explore Alliance. We really hope to see your astrophotography images, and we can't wait to see what you can produce. Again, this is Tyler. Clear skies and keep looking up.